Hey guys, it's me, Steve. CLOVER Chevrolet. Today we're doing a Q&A, or an AMA. It stands for Ask Me Anything. So we are going to, I put up on my Instagram / Facebook. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask me. Anything is open because right there is the only new car I have. So I don't have a lot to walk around, and it's actually a Trailblazer, so not much has changed to that. Well, let's get to it. All right, first question's from Larry. I thought it'd be a great way to start it out. How did you master the no-look finger point at the CLOVER Chevrolet sign? Lots of practice. Those of you who've known me for a while know I started doing Facebook Lives and using this sign thing here. Two things. One, it's easier on the phone with the selfie because you just kind of know. On the camera here, I do have a monitor where I can watch myself, but it's a little bit easier sometimes when I use my phone. I'll actually move the phone, so then I'm doing that, but yeah, I've just gotten better at it. Next question's from my homegirl, Shannon. Dream vacation destination, unlimited budget. And there are some talks about me possibly trying to go into finding my home family, going back to where I'm from Seoul, South Korea. I know the orphanage I was at. I don't know if the orphanage exists. Doing that and just trying to find a little bit. It's hard because there's things unknown about my history that my kids and grandkids will want to know, like medical history and stuff like that I just don't know. So it is in the back of my mind that I've been thinking about maybe going down that, documenting it, and just doing like a whole series of me trying to maybe find out. Obviously, there's a good chance that I might have family clear across the world. From my boy Twink, he'd like to see a Ricky Bobby video. Hang on just a second. Just say what's up, what's up.
What's up, what's up?
Wave. All right.
What's up?
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, hold on.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah. What does this mean?
Our good friend Kelly Hickory, who owns the Bluebird Boutique, downtown Alpena. If you haven't, it's a women's boutique clothing store, super cool. If you haven't been there and you're a female, you should go. She carries all size ranges. My wife loves the clothes, and on the top of which, all reasonably priced. And if you're a guy, you can go there and either pick up Golden Girls swag like my buddy Brad did, or buy something for your wife. Be smart. Husband tip. All right, next. Favorite season of the year and why? It's used to be summer. Growing up in northern Michigan, it's pretty easy, but it's actually become fall now. And it's the seasons, it's the changing. As you guys know, I like to take pictures, do video, and the season color change just lends so easy to that. Oh, sorry, the question from Kelly. I got sidetracked here. If I could only listen to one singer or band for the rest of my life, who would it be? It's a tie. It's either Tribe Called Quest, Queens Represent, or Dave Matthews Band. I know that's a really big gap there, but it's the honest answer. My homegirl Claire asked me what's my favorite kind of photography. It's either landscape or candid. I love landscapes, beautiful landscapes, and living in Northeast Michigan is really easy, but there is a value of me catching somebody in a moment that's maybe they don't know they're being pictured, and then I catch it just right. I do love that stuff. Next question from my buddy Justin Christensen Cooper. What do you love the most and hate about Apple products? I love that if you invest in the ecosystem, it works pretty seamlessly across. So you can go iPhone, iPad, Mac, MacBook, and there's ways that they all speak to each other. I know by now that Windows computers do that and all those other devices and the way we can cloud things, but for a while it wasn't like that. I love being able to make a video on my computer, airdrop it to my phone, and then post it. Loud vehicles, this is a terrible spot to be. And the thing I hate the most about, they're expensive and they don't last for as long as much as you pay. That's just the truth. Series of questions from Paige Mendak. I miss you. We all miss you. Let's be honest, right? Okay. Do I want to move? I mean, yeah, kind of. Favorite watch brand? I mean, I love Citizens watch. I can get right down here at Bones Jewelry, but I do love Shanola. Yeah, it's local, it's Michigan, and it's nice. It's everything I love. Coming soon, hopefully. Favorite hair product? I love that Detroit grooming company stuff. I use one little paste, and they have like a leather sandalwood, I think. And it smells really nice. The final question from her is, when will my Nikes match the cars? If you go and you look, sometimes I do that. And when I know I have a nice delivery coming in and there's a good chance that the customers are gonna feel comfortable with having their picture taken, I'll try to, if it's a white car, I'll match white shoes, black car, black shoes, blue car, blue shoes, all that fun stuff. So yeah, that happens. Also, moving around like this, I hope it's not too much of an ADD trip, but the light constantly changes. It's setting the camera up each time. I think I'm crushing it though, to be honest with you. Let's see, the next question comes from my bestie, Brad Przlowski. What is my favorite Jelly Belly jelly bean flavor? It's either gonna be root beer or popcorn, that buttery popcorn.
He's over here.
I just love popcorn. Oh, Paige had another question there. Paige Mendag asked, what's my favorite pie? The first one that popped in my head is, I love a good apple pie with ice cream. When it's done right, there's nothing better. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, Chevrolet.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, Chevrolet.
Stacy Croninger, thank you for all you do for Alpina. What is your favorite photo you've taken besides all the Allison and Stoley photos for obvious reason? While the 45th parallel is the one that I think everyone knows and likes, probably my favorite photo I've ever taken. Wow, what's one I always go to? There's a lot. Can't be Allison Stoley, that's my problem, right? I just took a drone shot of the Alpena Harbor in late April. It was like early spring, and there was still frost on the trees and leaves haven't come in, and it's like orange, but it's blue because of, you know how winter, it's like blue still, the water, it's like dark. And it's a really cool picture, and I love that one a lot. JB Golke asked, are you happy to work with me? And how come your desk is always so neat? I love working with you, you know that. Oh, am I so happy? It's tough right now, isn't it? Let's be honest. But not tough because of you, just tough the way things are. I know I haven't really talked about it that much, but I mean, everyone knows what's going on for the most part. And I guess if you're watching this, you definitely know what's going on. But there's a lot of guys out there that are talking about what's going on and talking about that in YouTube. And I think they're doing a lot of those guys is like Dave B. and Gentleman There's Jeff. They both have done a pretty good job of talking about what's going on in a little more depth. But I'll be honest, I have a difficult time talking about this and keeping it positive and light and upbeat, and that's what I like to do. That's why I don't talk about it much, because it's hard right now, really hard. That's from my desk, I'm OCD.
It's all true.
From Clover, this is from Brad, but from Clover, one of my new homegirls I just kind of met. She was in service, and now we're besties. Your favorite Taylor Swift song? She said, choose wisely because I will be judged. Well, it's really not hard. So I like Taylor enough that I can actually talk to her about her album-wise, right? I talked about Dave earlier. So Dave, to me, if you have to pick a favorite Dave song, you have to pick it between live and you have to pick it between an album because they're two totally different experiences. And if you got like Dave Matthews, you should know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Good. Taylor, since she started music so young, she's kind of gone through this maturation process, right? Her earlier stuff is definitely not like her last acoustic albums. But I really, if you had to choose early stuff, you belong to me because for some reason, that when that chorus comes in, you just kind of want to bounce around to it, which I like. Love Story was our slideshow for our wedding, so I have a natural bias to that. I really like Paper Rings, too. So that's it. 3 T-Swift songs. Just cranking the shutter. Full Jesse Drift mode, huh? Question from another super close friend, bestie, Matt Mashinsky. You must get so many ideas from people. How do you filter the good from the bad with kindness? I don't think anything is bad. They're all good ideas. Some of them just aren't practical and applicable to what I'm doing. But I do have tips. So one of the great tips I have is I tend to not look into the camera so much. Like I try to remind myself and get better. They said that every time I go back, because like I talk about the Suburban, for example, that I have customers picking up tomorrow. Every time I do that, I kind of break away from you guys as the viewer, and I lose that connection. So I am working on that. Feedback is a gift. All feedback is a gift. So we got to take it and use it and embrace it. I'm a firm believer of that. So I take it all and I listen to it all. Some of them I don't use, but I really do appreciate all feedback. And I hope everyone else feels the same way. Question from my buddy Preston down in Kutsky. Hello. Sell me on Chevy electric vehicles over what the other guys have to offer. So I'm going to do this in 3 parts. So the reason you should buy Chevrolet versus the other ones on the market. 1, Chevrolet has done a really good job of creating their own technology and workflow through this whole thing. A lot of you guys know about that Ultium platform that we're going to be launching in a lot of the vehicles, especially with Silverados coming on. The Lyric, if you guys have to check that out, simply gorgeous vehicles. So we're not only just building the cars, but we're also helping developing the battery technology. That does make me nervous, as a lot of you, I don't know, do a quick research right now. Batteries are the problem, and I don't mean in recycling, I meant supply and demand. With everyone now moving into it more, there's going to be a shortage of batteries, it seems like. So we all know very well about shortages, so that kind of makes me nervous. But anyways, moving on. See, I got 2. Chevrolet is a car company, and that's not a knock on Tesla. I think they're great. I love them. As you know, some of their quality and production hasn't been up to the speed that what a normal consumer would expect, especially with all the money that some of these electric cars cost. So being able to consistently produce a quality vehicle, not that I really have anything to talk. I mean, the Bolt recall is pretty well documented, so I'm not feeling exactly. I feel like I'm talking about both sides of my mouth. And lastly, thirdly, this is more based from where I'm at in Northeast Michigan. There's not first of all, we hardly have any fast charging stations here, but if you're really trying to get an electric vehicle that you want to get range and that you need to have service, really, General Motors one's your only option around here, because you're going to have to drive 200, 250 miles, probably 100, 150 miles to even get a non-GM vehicle serviced. So at least you know that you buy a GMC Hummer, the Cadillac Lyric, or the Chevy Bolt. You have 2 dealerships right in town that, obviously I think ours is a hell of a lot better than the other one that can service your vehicle and get it back on the road, any problems. And you know, these things, cars break. That's just a fact of buying a vehicle. So having routine maintenance and having the people that are certified and go through the process, which I know our guys do, that's really important. So those are my 3 reasons that we build it from the ground up, that we are producing it and we have the means because we're a large enough company. We build automobiles. And 3, service after the sale. And the last question comes from my homeboy, Noah Anderson, who just recently moved to Texas. I see you grinding, homie. How do you reset when you're feeling burnt out creatively? This is a tough one for me because it happens on and off, and it's not just burnout with creativity-wise, but just life-wise. Right now, I've alluded to earlier, it's pretty difficult here right now with trying to grind it out with, make it do with not a lot of inventory. Come in just with a positive mindset, ready to make it happen, and then spend a lot of time educating customers on what's actually all going on. Creative-wise, and what happens is from at least me, how I'm set up, that creative energy is usually what goes first. So if I'm having a tough day here, I really don't feel like doing anything, creating, shooting, and all that stuff. So to recharge, I try to disconnect, and usually sometimes I try to find a place that inspires me. Location helps. We have a lot of nice, neat places. I mean, I'll be honest, I take it for granted a lot of times because sometimes I get tired of going to Rockport, or I get tired of going to the break wall. But just recently, the other day, I spent a good time at the break wall and got some really good shots. And it's pretty spectacular, to be honest, to be taken so much granted that I think not just me, I think we all do that. Live in this area, you just get used to it. And then the other thing is I have like 3 or 4 go-to people that inspire me. I have my buddy Rick. We push each other and kind of vent to each other. Him and I are really following this guy named Danny Gravitz, sorry. And then of course there's Pete and Maddie, the whole dope squad, which they all got together and it was just cool. And if I'm being honest, jealous, I wish I was able to get that group of people I have. Just try to find inspiration and then decompress. Those are the 2 pieces of advice or things I try to do. So that's it for the AMA. I appreciate you guys swinging by. If you have any questions, comments, things, your thoughts, leave them down below. If you dug it, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, and then subscribe, do the whole thing. I appreciate you guys coming in. I will see you on the next one.